Ahoy, and welcome to another video. I really racked my brain to try to think of a taco opening, and I blanked so hard because I was running around this entire morning for about 2 hours, getting everything set up and getting my makeup on. So you get the normal video opening. Today we are making carne asada tacos as taco, because that's very fitting. And this is a recipe I've done before, so hopefully we don't end up poisoning anybody with, you know, ill-timed magic or a really vengeful boyfriend. But welcome to the video, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is actually not taco related at all. I lied. We are gonna be making rice to accompany our tacos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with cutting up all of the stuff that's going to be going into the sauce that the rice is gonna simmer in. Also, on a side note, if you see my bracelets disappear, it's because I'm not going to be working in a kitchen with jewelry on, and this is a thing I account for whenever I put on the taco cosplays. I always take off my rings. I do leave my bracelets on because I think he doesn't care, but I care. So my bracelets are gonna come off, I'm gonna wash my hands, and we're gonna get a camera change to me cutting up the vegetables for the rice. So for your rice, you're gonna be taking 2 tomatoes, 1/4 of an onion, and then 1 clove of garlic. And depending on how much water you're putting in, you're gonna take however many chicken bouillon cubes you need to correlate to that water. It's a little different for whether or not it's teaspoons or you're using the actual little cubes. You do whatever you need to do. You take that all, you add it to a boiling pot, and you're gonna let that simmer.
Hello and welcome to the voiceover. I don't have a lot to say other than nothing here needs to be cut perfectly, because honestly all it needs to be is small enough to be blended up by either a regular blender or a commercial blender, whatever you have on hand. It just got to be small enough so it's not chunky in the rice, you know? Anyways, there's still more footage and I'm running out of things to talk about with pertains to the food. So the graphic novel, right? Suffering Game graphic novel came out recently. I really love it. I'm kind of sad that there's a couple different scenes missing, but you know, I digress.
While that's happening, we are going to be making pico de gallo, which is just a lot of chopping. For your pico de gallo, it really depends on how much you're making, but typical recipes tend to call for 4 tomatoes, 1 onion, 1 to 2 jalapenos. I'm only going to be using 1 because I'm taking into account the people that I'm making it for, and then 1/4 a cup of lime juice. What you're going to do is you're going to take your onion and your jalapeno and let it soak in the lime juice while you cut up all your tomatoes and then add it all together. You're also supposed to use 1 bunch of cilantro. When I was shopping, the store was out of cilantro, so I'm going to be using dried cilantro and just kind of adding a bunch. I am unfortunately not actually magic, or else I would just simply transmute something to have fresh cilantro, but you know, it is what it is and we do what we do.
Welcome back to the voiceover. So is this a known thing that people do? Like you roll your limes and lemons if you want like the juice to come out better. If you want them to juice better, you roll your limes and you roll your lemons. That's like a thing that people do, right? Because I swear to God, I mentioned this to somebody once and they looked at me like I was crazy. But I have a ton of footage here, so we gotta figure out something to talk about. Here, all I'm doing is I'm gutting out the jalapenos. We don't want the seeds and we don't want the core here. And then we're just gonna dice them up for the pico de gallo. Truthfully, I would have added 2 jalapenos, but the people that I'm cooking for don't. Well, one of them really likes spice and the other ones kind of don't like spice. So I decided to, you know, be nice and only put 1 jalapeno in. And wow, oh no, I was gonna say we're still on the jalapenos, but then I thought it changed. No, we are in fact still on the jalapenos. I am now dicing them. Oh boy, howdy. Gotta figure out more things to talk about. Oh, okay, you know, back to the fucking graphic novel. I am really perplexed on why they moved Taako and Kravitz's kiss out of like the ending couple episodes and had it happen here. It makes me very curious as to what's gonna happen instead of the kiss moment, you know? So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, I guess. Surely they have plans. Here we go. Here's something to talk about. Since I didn't have fresh cilantro, I decided to add in the dried cilantro now to hopefully kind of maybe rehydrate it. But truthfully, it didn't super work the way I wanted it to. So I had a thought. It didn't really work. I tried really hard here to show off the fact that I slice onions at work quite frequently. And I ended up making a fool of myself because, truthfully, this looks like a mess. This looks awful. And you'll see here in a couple moments, I actually switch out the knife because I think that it's the knife's problem and not my fault. You know, obviously I'm just like the best at whatever the fuck I do, so how could it be my fault? It's obviously the knife's fault here. But I go through and I cut down all the pieces smaller that I fucked up and did not cut small in the first place. I hate dicing onions. I hate dicing anything. Actually, I take that back. Dicing the jalapenos was fine. Dicing onions is a pain. I would cut this out and re-record this, but truthfully, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to. Oh, see, here's the knife. Here's the knife that I changed to. This is really fun, just live commentating on my own footage, you know? Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, dicing onions are a pain in the fucking ass because they're curved. Dicing tomatoes, we're not on the tomatoes yet, we're still on the fucking onions for some reason, and I would cut down the footage, but I kind of already did my final passes of the footage, so instead of cutting down the footage like I should, instead you're just gonna chat with me on this voiceover while I try to rapidly figure out what the fuck I want to say here. Anyways, we're not on the tomatoes yet, but I will say this, I fucking hate dicing tomatoes. I have a scar on my pinky that I got when I was at the oldest 13, but I was probably like 11 or 12. And I cut my pinky, I cut two fingers actually, I cut my pinky and my ring finger dicing tomatoes when I was younger, and the ring finger scar has faded quite a bit, but the pinky scar is still pretty prevalent. I hate dicing tomatoes because those bitches are so mushy. Yes, here we go. Here's the fucking bane of my existence, are these fucking tomatoes. Because, like, truthfully, how do you dice them? If anybody in the comments have tips for how to dice tomatoes, please let me know what they are, because it's a pain. I struggle, and it's the bane of my existence. I hate dicing tomatoes. I hate it so much. Back to the graphic novel though. Another scene, and it took me a full week to realize that they took out this scene, and I cannot believe that it took me this long, because truthfully I really, really like the scene, and it is quite a big basis for a lot of my headcanons about Taako to begin with. But the scene is the Taako, why are you doing this job? Like, it's dangerous, obviously, and just, why are you doing it? And Taako just goes, well, because I'm worried no one else will have me. They cut out that scene, and I'm so confused as to why, because it shows a lot more to Taako's character than like a lot of other things. Like, we get the mongoose speech. And that's like, here's some of his character. And then all of a sudden we get I'm worried no one else will have me. That's a lot to his character, and we just don't have it anymore? What? You know what we also don't get? We also don't get more story and like more fleshed out scenes about Taako and Seized. I think it's mentioned and it's like briefly done, but from what I recall, it's not like super touched on, and I think it's touched on less than in the podcast itself. But I don't know why they took out that scene, man. I think that they should have kept it in, I want to know. That's all. I just love Taako. And you're going to see something funny here. This footage abruptly cuts off, and I don't know why, so sorry.
Now, this doesn't look a lot like Pico de Gallo, so let's give it a good stir. And now it does. you see how everything's all combined? Great. This is pico de gallo before it was just a mess. We are gonna pop this into the fridge and revisit our rice because that has been going on the stovetop the entire time, and it should be ready to blend up and make into the sauce. Now, before we add the sauce to the rice, we do need to brown the rice. So to do that, we're gonna use a little bit of oil, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of onion, and we're just gonna get it all nice and toasty and then add the sauce.
So all I'm doing here is preparing the pan for the rice, a little bit of oil in it, and you're gonna see I add some onions and some garlic. I cut these without recording it just because truthfully I had enough footage of me cutting up shit with the pico de gallo. And you'll see here I fuck around with these onions so much, just kind of like tossing them in the pan. You really don't need to be doing all that. I don't know why I do all that. But in the background here, with a little bit of a camera adjustment, you're gonna see that I am starting to blend up that tomato and garlic and onion that we cut up earlier for the rice. I'm just blending it up and getting that nice and smooth.
Okay, now that the rice is cooking, we are in the home stretch. All that's left to do is to start cooking the meat. I have had the meat marinating overnight. It's supposed to be roughly around 12 hours. Marinade, real simple. It's a green beer and 1 lemon. Green beer, Benzic or Heineken. That's what you're using. Me, however, I'm gonna let you know a little secret. I don't like green bottle beers. I'm using Pacifico because that's what I'm gonna drink. See, exactly. Now, I do think Taco's a wine person. I don't think he's a beer person. The thing is drinking while cooking truly is a Mexican experience. Because I don't think I've ever known my dad to be making tacos or making ceviche without an open beer. So either there's a problem there, or alternatively, it is part of the experience. So we're gonna get cooking on the meat and let that rice do its thing.
So here we are, getting ready to cook the meat. Look at that bag of meat. Wow, funky. And again, I'm just adding some garlic and some onions to the pan that I'm gonna be cooking the meat in. This is just for the like aroma to make it, there's a word here that I'm blanking on, and you know what? I'm not even gonna fucking look it up. I don't care. I have put off editing this video for quite a bit now, and you can tell that my drive is kind of gone, but I'm still having a lot of fun making it, and I hope you have a lot of fun watching it. So here, all I did was add that mixture to the rice, and it was a little bit too hot. It should not have been boiling. All of a sudden, wow, you see that my rice is done. This is because I cut again, I'm not fucking cutting this. We're doing this all in one take. You're listening to all my mistakes here. This is because I was cooking the meat for like a solid time. There's a white bowl in the background that you can see. Well, not anymore because the camera changed. But I was cooking the meat for a long time. I'm so sorry that this portion of the video is like slowly losing its frame the more we go on. It's because I accidentally broke the tripod that I was using, and so I made it do. I made it work. I made do with what we had, but it's because I accidentally broke the tripod. That's why the camera angles look bad. I'm sorry. And if anybody makes fun of me for putting the tortillas directly on the stovetop, I don't own a comal. If I owned a comal, it would already be on the stove. You would have seen it by now. I don't own one. Also, I don't have a basket, so that's what I'm using.
Right, and that's everything cooked. All that's left to do is to plate it, and I'll give you all a little taste test because, fun fact, this tooth enamel, fucking A-okay and stays on through eating. All right, and here it is, the finished product. I can already tell you I'm gonna like how it tastes because I've made carne asada before, so naturally I'm just the best at it, clearly. I haven't made pico before though, but that's really hard to get wrong, so let's see. My fucking tortilla fell apart. You can't have a Mexican taco experience without your tacos falling apart, which is why you usually double up your tortillas. I didn't do that. I was lazy. I only made 4 tortillas, and I was like, that's plenty of tortillas, and I didn't double it up. Don't be lazy. Double your tortillas. Don't double your condoms, double your tortillas. I didn't say that. The rice also is, I've made this before, so I'm sure that this will taste delicious. But for the camera, we're gonna try it. Salt. Yes, better. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you disagreed with anything I did in this video, I don't give two shits. Do not make fun of me. I really like cooking. It is one of my favorite things to do, and it is one of the only things that connects me back to my Hispanic heritage. So if you want to nitpick something, I'm just gonna fucking delete the comment, okay? I don't take comments about my cooking very lightly at all. That disclaimer aside, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I know I don't make a lot of consistent videos, but I'm trying, I promise. I'm sorry if you guys expected me to be like in character the entire time. Maybe I would have if I had somebody to bounce off of, but this really was just me cooking. So, it was just a fit. You guys just got the fit. Do all the stuff that I said earlier, and I will see you guys in the next video. Get it? See? Like the ocean? Because I'm a pirate? See? Get it? Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.